jump in. I'm loving the vines in the background there.
I was like, we've been away for a minute. I should maybe do a little something different. But it's mainly just to kind of hide the creases because they always jar me. So, yeah, a bit of faux foliage, you know. Oh,
and you are looking svelte.
The fastest.
How are you feeling?
Good today. I felt like a bruised bollock yesterday. Really bad. I've this time around, I have experienced a bit of nausea and I haven't before. So yesterday and the day before, I was just like, I might have to cut this because I don't know if it's just, I didn't know what the reason was. And I do get a bit paranoid sometimes, even though like I know it's fine. The fact that obviously like I'm not eating, it you know, I do get a little bit paranoid. I think I might as well just break this fast because nothing is worth the health, you know, hence the reason we had a break. Health is priority number one. So I just had a bit of like chicken broth and I literally feel like I've got a set of wings on me now. So what I think I might do is, I think I might just, have some broth every day and keep going. The aim is 40 days. So.
And we're where?
22. Yeah. This one has been tricky. The last week was tricky. I think because the girls are back to school now, so I'm doing the school run. Because if there's one thing about a fast is you have to slow shit right down. Like you can't be doing the up and down madness as you usually do. Because one, you just aren't taking in the same amount of calories, even though your body's burning it from all like the dead cells that it's breaking down and like your fat reserves, like the energy is there, but it's just different, you know? So I've had to really, really slow down. But I think I'm going to keep going, but just have some broth every day.
Okay. Listen to your body.
Exactly. It could have just been the taste in my mouth because it's vile. Like vile, rotten, awful, repugnant, all the terrible words. That is what your mouth tastes like after a while. It's, you know, like when you brush your teeth in the morning, but like you don't get around to eating till like 2 or 3 o'clock. That every day. Like you wake up with it, it's just rank. You just get sick of the taste of your sour mouth. Obviously it's horrible, and like obviously I can't really have mints because like there's sugar in it and I'm not trying to like peak sugar levels and stuff, so but yeah, I think for the rest of the time I'm brothing it and continuing with the water. So I'm halfway there now, more than halfway there now, so I'm gonna keep going because I did damage in the summer, man. Like I know I'm always saying I ate my way through, I did damage in the winter.
Okay.
I was saying that I ate my way through winter, and I normally do, to be fair, but this winter was on a different level, and I've just felt like garbage. So spring came, which, you know, is the new year now for me. Spring is the new year. And I was just like, right, obviously the birthday happened, and I was like, right, we're doing things different. So body reset, been doing all the things, doing the skincare routine properly, getting to bed at a decent hour. Again, because of the fast, you lay your ass down. So I've been getting to bed on time. Just feels so good for it, man. So good. I recommend a fast to everybody. We shouldn't be eating 3 times a day. It's madness. The body has no time to process and recover. So that's my 2 cents.
I don't know if I have the willpower. I would love to try a little something. But actually, before we kick off into everything, like, we're back. We need to reintroduce people because they might have forgotten who we are.
We're strangers again.
Yeah, so let's do things properly.
Yes, let's.
We are back. We're going to explain everything in this episode. So let's do a proper intro. Welcome to It's All Frolics,
It's
folks.
all frolics still.
We're here. Yeah. We're here. It's me, Amy, and the wonderful svelte-looking Monique B.
Hi.
We are going to go into all of the details of what's been happening during our break. The reason I'm looking all over the place is because I was thinking, how long has it been? 6 weeks?
It was
7?
Oh God, I don't know. I think it was like a week before I went on holiday. Did an episode come out then? End of March. Let's just say end of March.
Okay.
Whatever that is.
So about a month then, if not a little bit over a month, because we always had a couple of episodes in the bag. So for us, time is like...
Yeah, it feels like an age ago.
Well, for you, it was. So much has happened. So much has happened. Am I delayed, by the way?
No, you're good.
Okay, cool. These are all of the things, right? All of the things. I'm like, oh man, I have to deal with this again. So, bit of context, because that's me. I always need a bit of context. We have had a life break.
We have.
From this podcast, from life, essentially, for ourselves, and I think it's telling it happened when spring was coming in.
Yeah.
So the end of winter, spring beginning, and we were both like,
the burnout was real. Like there were flames. Like, it was a lot.
There was a lot. So this episode is going to be different from all of the other episodes that we have pretty much run, apart from maybe our pilot. Which is us, I suppose, reflecting and setting some intentions, I reckon.
Okay, intentions, yeah. So, no segments. We're just hitting record.
Just hit and record, yeah. So we are in it to win it. So I guess I'm going to hand it over to you to kick off the ball. What caused the break? What happened in the break, as much as you're happy to give, and lessons learned?
Oh, God. Okay. Well, you know, my thoughts are all over the place, folks, so bear with me. What happened? So about a week before I was set to go on holiday, it just felt like too much was happening. Having to it's been a while since I've been abroad with the girls. So it was a case of having to get cases, basically buy everything that we needed for the trip, organize all of the things. And then I had car issues as well. So like my car needs some work done on it. So it was like, do I do it now? Do I do it when we come back? Then we had also planned to record a couple episodes. So we had them in the bank. And then there would have been the editing of that. I'm sure there was something else as well, but that escapes me right now. But those were like the sort of 3 big things. And I was just like very tired and overwhelmed. My to-do list was just very long. And I just couldn't. And the morning that we were supposed to record those double episodes, I woke up and I just knew I was not in the right space to do it, but I was just like, let's just get it done. Once we hit record, it's going to be fun. It will be fine. So I'm like putting on music to try and like lift the mood. Weren't working. On the way, doing the school run again, just trying to, you know, pep myself up and think about topics we were going to talk about. But I just couldn't I could not get it together. And then on the walk back home, after I had dropped the girls off, I almost felt like a little bit tearful. You know, I don't cry, so it was pretty bad.
Well,
we'll get to that. But I was just like, I I can't do it. And I felt so terrible. I felt so terrible, even though I knew if I'd called you and said, like, babes, I can't, you'd be like,
Mm.
well, let's not, because we've said from the beginning, health is priority number one. This is a fun thing that we're doing. Like, it shouldn't be stress inducing, apart from, just us wanting to do a good job, like that aside.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be as like daunting and overwhelming. So I sent you this really boo-hooey voice note with like apologies and just how I just couldn't, I couldn't get it together. And as I knew, you were just like, babes, it's fine. We'll take the break. We'll come back whenever, like, calm down, do what you need to do. And I probably had a nap because you know me, naps are very powerful and it worked. Um, but yeah, that was the reason for the break. Just too much was going on. And what I found as well is that when you actually do stop and take a break, I feel like that's when you really realize how much is going on,
Mm.
because you know what we're like? We're just like in the motion of it all. We're doing the things because we can and we get them done. And we're just used to getting the things done. But then you stop and it's just like, wow, that's actually too much.
Yeah.
And no wonder I'm not sleeping. And no wonder my skin is breaking out. And no wonder I'm reaching, this is me here, no wonder I'm reaching for like the cookies and the Pringles, because for me, that's my knee jerk comforter,
Mm.
like
Yeah.
food. So it's just like, yeah, the break was really necessary. Um, and then yeah, a week later, I was in Tunisia for my holiday, which was mwah, so good. So good. And what else did you ask me? What were the lessons learned? I think, well, one of my big takeaways for my birthday and what I'm planning on doing going forward is thanks to Kay, actually. That message that she sent me on my birthday, which was
Mm-hmm.
so sweet. But the takeaway that honestly just like kicked me in the gut and in the heart was just letting things flow. And I've heard this before, time and time again, but sometimes you just hear something a different way and it almost all of a sudden had this whole new meaning. And
Yeah.
I was just like, that's what I'm going to do. Like, I'm just really, really, for real, just gonna let go. Because I say this all the time, yeah, it's chill, ease, you know me. But I'm
Yeah.
just like, really, really, this time, I'm just gonna let go of like the outcomes because they can't be controlled anyway, and it's something that I fret about a lot. Like, if I do this, then this thing has to happen. And it just gets me just so like tightly wired, and it can I it's just hard for me sometimes to kind of like see the bigger picture and see the possibility of things, and it makes me less hopeful because all I can see is the things that are in the way.
Yeah, the
But
grind.
so I've just thought, do you know what, just like just let the things go. And it's
Mm.
actually just so freeing to be like, I'm gonna still, still have goals, and I'm still gonna work towards them because I'm wired that way to do it anyway. But I'm just going to like take the foot off the gas a little bit and just like release the timeline because again, it can't be controlled. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to practice going forward. And it's working out well. I mean, even I think the way that we do our pod, I just want to be less wired about it and just lean more into the original thing, which was just having a laugh with one of
Yeah.
my faves, and just
Yeah.
enjoying it.
I know. The things that you've kind of raised are items we have discussed so many times across
Mhm.
several episodes,
Yeah.
which is very much like our personality traits of having plans,
Yeah.
doing our absolute best, verging on perfect,
Yeah.
stressing about why are we not there yet?
Mm-hmm.
And we are the creators of our own stress most of the time.
Honestly, we are.
Um,
We really are. I just don't want to be all or nothing anymore. I don't want to be all or nothing. And we can really control that. It's
mm,
hard because it's unlearning a lot and is trying to not feel bad about it. But in this space right now, and I think spring has a lot to do with it. And for those of you that might feel this is a bit woo-woo, it's in the DNA. Like like the animals go away for months because that is not the time to be doing the most. Things go to sleep, and it's now that they're starting to wake up. So I'm going with it. I lost my train of thought there. I don't know if that made any sense, but
it did.
whatever. Okay, cool.
Let it flow. Let it flow.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, all or nothing. That's what I was saying. Yeah, I don't want to be all or nothing, man, because I can't stop. And when I do stop, it's because I'm crashing and burning, you know? It's
Mm.
not fun. Like, that's not the kind of recovery I want to be, what I want to have. So, ease, as I like to say.
Yeah.
So,
And a big thing that happened during the break was a
I
birthday.
know. Oh my God. I turned 40. I think yeah, I said, I think I'm okay with it. No choice.
No.
But yeah, man, it's cool. Yeah, because I'm letting it flow and I'm just embracing the things, right? And what is
Yeah.
age anyway? It really does come down to like how you feel about yourself. And that's the work
Yeah.
that I'm trying to, you know, that I want to do. Just like feel good about myself. Hence the reason for doing the fast, because I always feel good when I reset like this. So yes, it's good. All the things that are destined for me will reach me when they're supposed to.
Mm.
And
In the divine time.
that's what I'm saying. And I can be a little bit immature, so it's probably best that I do get to grown ages before certain things reach me anyway. So I can manage them properly.
Listen, okay, I'm picking that up. How? How are you immature? In what ways are you immature?
Girl, listen, I'm not we share a lot that I'm not sharing. Okay. But I make poor decisions sometimes, knowingly. Okay. Grown people don't make poor decisions knowingly. I do.
There's a lot of people who I think would disagree with you. They're like, oh no, that's me. That's me.
But yeah, no, 40. I mean, it is wild because you just don't think about getting to these ages, like when you're
Mm-mm.
younger. I think the oldest you think about getting is 18, really, because that's when you can drink and that's when you can go out. Like, you don't see yourself really getting any older than that because those are the adults in your life and you're not trying to be old, what you
No.
thought was old.
Yeah.
So you get to 21 and 21's kind of cool. Then 25 creeps in and yeah, that's still kind of cool. Then 30 creeps up and you're just like, rah, okay. And we're at the point now where all the big birthdays are like decades. So, you know.
And they're not
That's
small decades. They're like
exactly. Exactly. We're only 2 away from a bus pass.
oh yeah. That's cold.
Free travel, I'm here for it. Oh my God.
Savage.
No, but it's cool, man. Honest to God, it really is a blessing to get older. Like, that's what you want to do. Do you know what I mean? That
Mm.
it's what you want to do. So just trying to want to live as healthily as I can, um, be as good as a person that I can, and just spend as much time with my faves as I can, because that's where the joy is, man. you know?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
40 is a lot.
It's not. It's not at all. It
I
isn't at
know, but it
all.
is. Listen, I've been anti this for a very long time. Like I'm still turning the corner.
You are. You literally just put a foot into it.
I
So
have.
I'm
I'm
going to give
closer
you
than I
that.
was. Yeah, I'm closer than I was. Oh my
But it's
God.
in your rear view now. It's like there. There's no looking forward to it. It's like, bye you. It's been
That's
fun.
gold. That is gold. Although the way these knees creak when I have to bend down, yeah, for real.
Honestly, the other day when I sent you and Kay an audio note and I was already groaning and moaning at the beginning as I was trying to maneuver myself into the car, I was like, oh, this is my life now. Literally,
No,
everything I'm doing, I'm like, oh, eat.
See, that's me, you know, but my delusion refuses to let me believe it's because of age. It's for me, it's just like, oh, you didn't stretch properly. It's like, oh, see, you gotta have some cod liver oil. Like, age is just not a thing.
Cod liver oil, that is old
Yeah.
people shit.
It's good for you.
That's what old people say.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Listen,
No,
we're
but
here.
it's
We might as well enjoy it. So
oh my God. Do you know what? I have to thank you and Kay again thanks, Kay, for my birthday surprise because that was like, that was such an incredible day.
it
So,
was.
I always say like for those listening, like that doesn't make any sense. Anyway,
I know, especially
so
because this whole podcast, people should be this.
I heard it.
And the people who aren't, they don't care. They're not going to
I
hear the
heard it.
notice.
I'm just like, you see, age don't mean shit. So, Kay and Amy surprised me with this function called Sip and Paint, where you basically do just that. You drink drinks and and you paint stuff, which is so amazing because I've wanted to do that for a couple of years now. So like that was awesome. They didn't tell me anything. It was basically, bitch, get dressed,
Mm,
eat before
mm.
you leave. You came to my house, Aim, so it wasn't even a case of meet us at this station. I knew nothing. So first off, you showed up with 5 guys. I mean,
I know, and actually quite well timed seeing as you're doing a fast. So,
yeah.
releasing that.
Yeah.
Could
Which
you imagine? I'd just be like, your stomach would just be growling up a storm.
at this point, I'm good. Like, I'm not fazed by food right now, so it's fine. But yes, it was perfectly timed. And for anyone that's had 5 guys, you know that that is like the king of burgers. So we munched that down. I had, oh, and the G&Ts as well.
Mm,
For those of you that are watching, we've had it in these glasses here. They hold a lot.
yeah.
So I was well fed and well liquored before I even left the house. Um, then we went to a cute pub. I can't remember what is that Liverpool Street? I don't know where that was.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Dirty
Yeah.
Dicks.
There, what a name, man. Oh. So we went to Dirty Dicks for a few more a few more G&Ts and then headed off to the venue. And it wasn't until we were in the queue that I realized like what was happening. So I was gassed because again, I've wanted to do this for so long. So we go in, they take our coats, bring us to our table, and it was a vibe in there. Like the
It
MC
was
was,
already.
yeah, I felt like the attendants were attending. Like they just had high vibes. It
Yeah.
felt like people having a good time was like the priority number one. Like I really felt like they wanted us to have a good time. So that was really nice. Um, And then, so I'm just like standing there at my easel, doing my shoulder dance because, I'm a two-step queen. That's as far as we go. And then, and then out the corner of my eye, like I see Ames wave to somebody, and I'm just like, girl, who you know here? So like,
I know, especially because I ain't living in London.
exactly. So I'm like, who's this? Like being nosy and fast. And I look over, oh my God. And then I see my sister, and I'm just like, what? And then I see my other sister. And then like immediately broke down crying. Now, this was a shock to me because I have said for years I have no tear ducts. But when I'm telling you that these babies got into
Unplugged.
action immediately, like
Damn broke. It came out.
expeditiously, just bawling my eyes out. And then like they start to walk forward, and then I see my cousin Claire. I'm just like, oh my God, Claire's here. And then I see my cousin Ella. That one took me way out because Ella lives in the Netherlands. And I'm just like, what is going on? And then I see my cousin Yaz. And it was just, and then Danica, who I had just spoken to the day before. And she was just like, yeah, I'm just going to be chilling on Saturday. Here she is, dressed, looking amazing. And I was just like, look at all of my favorite people that just it's happening again. My
Live
eyes are
and direct. We're
my eyes are tingly.
recording.
But it was just like so incredible to see like all the people that I love most in like one spot that came to like celebrate me. And it was funny having them laugh at me. They're just like, girl, of course. Like, what are you talking about? Of course we're going to be here. But I'm just like, no, but I just love you so much and I can't believe it. And then it was ridiculous. But I don't know if I've just ever felt so incredibly loved in that moment. Like it was, and I was buzzing for days after that. Like even now, my like cheeks are just hurting. It was incredible. So just that moment alone, oh yeah, that was the gift. That was the gift. That was like the best gift ever.
Oh, we're
So
so
thank
glad
you.
though that you really, because you never know. Surprising people, it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
And I think you just deserve it. So
Oh.
it was an easy gift to give because you just deserve it. And I'm glad that you
Yeah.
received it as it was meant. And
Yeah.
also it
That
was a
was
freaking great time. So
so great. So great. And I've still got my badge, which I just remembered as well. Like when the day that you sent that message asking for like pictures with me, I was just like, oh, the sneaky biatch.
mm,
Well played. Still got my badge, still got my cap. I've not touched it because the
oh my
rhinestones are.
God. Listen, I have plenty of spares. So if you ever if you ever want to touch it up and just cap it like in the kitchen,
Yeah.
let me know. I'll send them.
Oh, so good. I'll have to, do you know what? I might put some pictures up. We'll post some stuff so we can see what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. But that was just, it was the best, man. It was the best day. Thank you.
Oh, you're very loved. And obviously everyone who showed up with that love. And
Yeah. Oh,
like you say, celebrate
beautiful.
you. Celebrate you. And it was such a big birthday. You can't just let it
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah. And, I think I might have said before, but every other milestone birthday that I've had so far has been absolute garbage. There's always been like some tragedy or some crisis or just literally 16, 18, 21, 30. It was not fun, man. So this was it made up for all of them. So thank you. Yay.
Oh man. Well, I suppose like in terms of bookending the disaster
Yeah.
and setting a new path for all of the goodness to happen.
Absolutely.
I mean, you took yourself away on holiday as well for your birthday with family and just soaked up all of that love. So it's a great way to start 40s. Great way to start the 40s.
I feel it as well. I really do. So, yay me! How has the break been for you? Do you feel rested and restored? Is that a thing?
I do. I do. I feel like a lot of stuff has happened, a lot of emotional stuff, a lot of reflection on what's happening in life. And there is work to be done, not like nothing too drastic. I just think I need to focus on myself a bit more. Yeah, just stuff is changing, you know, like, so I'm not going to be 100% transparent, but I will share that there was a health thing going on. And off the back of it, I'm very aware that my body is changing, and with it, how I feel about my body, which is always a tricky line,
isn't it,
to walk. Why are we like this? Like, I mean, our bodies are magical. They're beautiful. And yet there is so much hate and so much just disgust at times, and annoyance and expectation, let down. There's so much.
I think because it's just so inconsistent. Do you know what I mean? It's just even like if you're just talking like a menstrual cycle, I feel like we get one good week out of 3. Like, that's not fair. 1 good week out of 3? That's nuts. So that alone is just like, you can't, once you get into the rhythm, it's gone. And then so are you. Then you come back like 3 weeks later.
Reemerge.
Literally, just like, oh, everything's great. I can do all the things. And then everyone and everything sucks. It's just, I mean, that in itself that is a lot, you know?
Yeah.
It's a lot to combat. And that's when things are working well. Now, you know, if you've got like hormonal imbalances, or I don't know, PCOS, fibroid, whatever, this is a myriad of things that can develop through no fault of our own. You know, it's
I know.
And then you've got society being like, you know, you're too fat, you're too thin, be like this, but not like that. It's maddening. It's maddening.
And all of these little messages that we're obviously taking on board throughout our lifetimes. And I'm at an age where I just, I don't know how to describe it, to be honest, but basically in terms of what I want and what is, I suppose, society expects of me, I just was like questioning a lot. And also just like lots of other things that dealing with, and balancing friendship groups, and how much time I can spend, and then money. And it's just like, I know I do this a lot on this podcast, but I was like,
struggling. Yeah, that's a lot.
Coming from, because I have not thrown them up in the air. So so now I'm just, I think, like you said, once you stop, you really do realize how much you were dealing with at one time. And I think I've spoken about not being able to relax. Like, even when I'm relaxing, I'm doing stuff.
You're on the clock.
And I think that I was forced to stop. And I did
Yeah.
not like it, but I realized I had to. And all of a sudden, I was very, very acutely aware that I just was way lower than I thought I was, and
Mm.
much, much tireder than I thought I was, because I'm just so used to just powering through and just being like, oh yeah, I'll get to that when I have a break, and not creating a break so I can get to that. And then when your body needs a break, it just takes it. It's just like,
That's
hell no, we're done.
that's the thing. Yeah.
And it's
I think we
mostly at the most inconvenient times.
yes, always. She didn't care.
Yeah.
She's just like, I said, sit down. I feel like we
I
have
said
to
what I said.
I think we need to like really make breaks a thing. Like taking them even when we don't feel like we need them, you
Mm,
know? There's something to be said about yeah, just not waiting for the breakdown before we sit down. Just
yeah,
I think that's where you kind of get the longevity, you know? Where you just rest
that's
because you know it's necessary. And even if it's not, like maybe we should just sit and then you have the time to reflect and you have the time to like look around and maybe reassess or I don't know, watch a show or just, you know, just
yeah.
actually live and not do all the time.
All the time. That's the thing. It's all the time, because I mean, we've joked, or you've joked, about how my rest is bedtime, like when I'm
It's
sleeping.
you're on another level, man. You're on a level. This girl will send a message. I feel so bad. Just gonna quickly do the skating board and then I will maybe
I know. And five
sit
hours
down.
later, with six other things that I've done on top of that, because I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. And I have been observing myself as well. Like, I do enjoy, so that it's kind of like, I suppose it's active rest for me. I enjoy doing things that are going to contribute towards, say, for example, just my house. Like, I love
Yeah,
doing things to do with that. And it never feels like an exhaustion. Of course, my body is going to be like, oi, we can't climb this ladder no more, because these knees aren't what they used to be. But
yeah,
it's when I'm tired at the end of the day, it's a productive, good tired, rather
yeah,
than I need to open up a bottle of wine because I'm so exhausted.
yeah,
And, during the break, that's what I was battling with, was like, oh, I'm a bit of both, where I have been doing things that I'm really excited about and I love doing with people I love doing them with, but at a level where I'm doing too much,
yeah,
versus there's a lot going on in my life that I should be paying attention to, but I'm distracting myself with all of these things. But I can't
mhm,
not do those things because I'm committed to those things. So
yeah.
yeah, it was a lot. And then once that was over, I was like, we're done here now. For the next 3 months, I'm not putting any more plans in my diary. If they are there, I will uphold them, but I'm not putting anything new
Oh,
in, because I
oh,
just
wow.
can't. I can't keep going on that trajectory, because it is exhausting, and it affects my productivity at work. It affects my outlook on life. It affects my ability to enjoy things.
Yeah,
Um, because I'm just like, I'm in action mode, but I'm not present in that mode. I'm doing the things that need to be done because I said that they'd
yeah,
be done. And then I'm
yeah.
like,
And then what's
oh,
the point of it all? Like,
yeah.
what is the point? That is really friggin' impressive. I'm super happy for you to be just like, nah, sorry.
I know
Text
it's
me.
not sorry for myself. Yeah. But what I'm struggling with and this is a real thing, is where people are asking for my time during this rest period that I've set for myself.
Yeah.
And saying no,
Mm.
I'm like, girl, people pleasing exists right here, right
Yeah.
here.
We've
And
got
then
to
I'm
figure
like,
out a response, like an auto response for you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Or,
which
I
isn't
mean,
just a nah. Because even no is hard because there's a expectation of explaining your no, and I don't want to.
yeah.
It's no is enough. But then I'm like, oh, I have to give a reason because people are expecting a reason. And I have to, if it's just a case of me saying, actually, I just want to not come because I've got stuff I just want to rest on,
Yeah.
it's not good enough.
Of course it is.
I mean, it is
I,
for me.
yeah, I just don't feel like they could truly be friends to not understand that. I mean, if even if you're just like, I'm just committed to a lot this month, I just can't. Like that really is the end.
Yeah.
You know, that should be it. And if you've got people that are just like, oh, come on, or like, nah, you don't care about me. You want me
Mm.
there for you. You don't want me there for me.
Mm.
You know, you could never say, oh, I'm knackered, and I'm like, yeah, but hell no. No, like, please, like, lay down. Well, that's me anyway. You know, I'm the advocate for laying down and staying in. But I'm just like, no. If you love me for real, you know that it's my no has to be no. I think of our like I've always been there in the past, and if I'm saying no this time, you should know that something is up, or that I just need the time. That should be the end of it.
Mm.
So, but yeah, no's are tricky. No's are tricky.
Yeah. I mean, Kay sent a really good um, post a few days, weeks ago. I can't remember because we send so
I
many to each
remember
other
that. Yeah.
about the
Yeah, because
like
that was a
polite
very
ways of
grown
saying no.
that was a very grown up answer. Because I was like, just lie. You were like, should I ignore it? I'm just like, you could lie. And you just like, he's like, tell the truth now. Here's how you can do it.
I know, I know. And even then, I was still struggling. Like, and I had this conversation with one member of the group, and because I hadn't responded,
Yeah.
and it was even then the reasons that I hadn't responded were almost validated in that conversation because it was a case of, well, no response is a response, and I'm like, okay, then I'm fine with that. I'm fine with my no response being a response. If people are like, oh, I wonder why they're not responding, have a little think.
Yeah.
Have a little think. It's just that it's not for me. I'm not responding, therefore I'm not going to be attending. But there was a need for me to say, I'm not coming. And it was very difficult for me not to
Mm,
then go in because dot, 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 dot. I just was like, I'm not coming. Have a great time.
yeah.
Um, but that response wasn't for me. Me giving that response wasn't because I wanted to. It was because I felt bad that someone else might have to explain my non-attendance.
Mm,
So again, all of these things, I'm just like,
yeah. But we're talking
but
about a lifetime of people pleasing here. Like, it's not going to correct itself in like one message.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
let's have all the grace. It'll get easier.
I hope so. But it's going to be a
It will.
lifetime journey, isn't it? Because it is 41 years of doing this action.
It's a lot. You'll
Um,
you'll find your auto responses, and I feel like maybe the tribe might be a case, yeah, that the tribe just gets smaller, and that the people that you're speaking to will just get it and will maybe
mm,
just like commend the rest rather than make you feel bad for it.
I think personally, I need to reduce the size of my tribe, because the rest has kind of like taught me this, is I don't have the capacity or the will, I guess, as well, because there's so much else I have to contend with in terms of I live so much further away. So it does take a lot of organization to be able to accommodate some of these like catch ups.
Yeah.
Wherever possible, I might have to group some,
Yeah,
because that means I
absolutely.
get to see you all in a capacity that I can deal with, or you're going to have to just make peace with the fact you ain't going to see me.
Yeah.
Unless you make the effort to come and see me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it can't
yeah, there's
always
been
be you
lots of
making the
things.
trip
No, no.
because I mean, it cost you like what, 35 quid to just to be there, much less get into venues
Get
and
back.
then yeah,
Yeah.
it's wild. So yeah, I totally
Doing all
understand.
of the things. But yeah, those are the things that I think have been friendships, time allocated to doing nothing and
Yeah.
not feeling guilty about that. And wrestling with what I actually want to do. So
Mm.
spring is the beginning of a lot of things. So I am contemplating what my journey is for the next 20, 30 years. I don't know. I was like, how
Damn.
much? Yeah. Setting myself up for retirement.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
ideally, I don't want to be doing anything. I want to finish work and I want to just be chilling,
Yeah.
chilling.
I absolutely see you like by the sea in the mornings, in your herb garden in the afternoons. Easel out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Drawing, listening to
I see it.
music, doing the walks. I'm still going to be a very active walker as long as like
Yeah.
arthritis and that shit doesn't crop up.
But even when you have that, I see you with like those two massive
The
sticks.
walking sticks,
Like
just like pulling myself up the hill.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
mate.
see
Yeah.
it. Oh,
Yeah.
this is good. This is pretty big though from you. Like I'm excited. I know it's gonna be tricky, but like I'm excited for you for this because you've been doing a lot forever. So this is nice.
And I think, do you know what? I'm probably almost scared of this being a success, because then no one's going to see me ever, because I'll just be like, I'm on rest.
No, I'll be coming down. So that's fine. You don't have to do anything, just open the door. The other day I was
Yeah.
daydreaming about literally just getting on the train and coming down, going to that fish and chip shop by you because that fish is frigging superb. Like buying two of them. It's probably because I'm on a fast, so I'm starting to think about food.
Food.
Two of them, chopping it up in a massive salad, balsamic vinegar, gherkins, tomatoes, cucumbers, the details coming in now, and just munching on the sofa, watching something. And then be like, all right, it's 8. Bye. Then buggering off back home.
Well, you're more than welcome, honestly. Especially because like weekends are such a big thing for me. And as it gets warmer, I'm just going to be wanting to take my Kindle down onto the beach, like, and just
Yeah.
sitting there. You know, I've already got tabs open on my laptop of like padded beach beds because it's pebbly down here. So I'm just like, ooh, I want it to be nice and cozy. So I'm just lying there, have like some cocktails ready to go.
Okay. Let's get a date.
Grapes at my side. I'm just like,
You and the grapes. Let's get a
I
date. Oh, we
know.
could
Oh,
do you know the sea dip. I still can't believe I did that shit down there. That was not a shit, got in the sea. Sorry.
yeah.
I said that a bit too quickly.
I mean, with
Yeah.
southern water, it could be shit.
Oh, my tetanus is up to date, so it's cool.
It's so nice though. I mean, it's cold. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't got in yet. I probably won't for another month. So June, come on. But yeah, it's when it's blue and you like can see the pebbles and you just put your
Yeah.
little foot and you're like, oh, and you're like, dip, dip, dip. It's when it gets to that upper thigh bit, just about to touch the coochie, and then I'm just like,
that nun bit is crazy.
then you just have to get in because easing is not.
I
It's not going
I
to
don't know
work.
how people do that. That is, I
There's people
can't.
in there already, you know,
I bet you there is.
like
I
just
bet
bikinis or just speedos. They're just there
they're just
living
different
life.
people.
I know, built different. But I mean, I was listening to the radio the other day and they were talking a lot about cold water swimming, also being very careful about, you know, in terms of the reacting to the cold water and doing it in
Hypothermia.
groups. Safety first, safety first. But it is meant to be so good for you.
Yeah.
So,
It's like a nervous system thing, right?
yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll be chatting in 3-4 weeks time and I'll be like, I got up to my knees and then
I would not be
actually I'm
surprised.
in.
I remember when you first moved down there, like me and Kay were just like, you're going to be in the sea. And you just like, no.
Absolutely not.
Weeks later, there's a picture of you up to your neck in it.
I think the lesson is when I say no, actually I mean not yet.
Yeah.
Crocs.
Oh, that was a win. That is a win for me, honestly.
Oh
The
dear.
vitriol over those shoes. And now, look.
I know.
Fab.
I know. I do find it hilarious though, in terms of like when I opened up my birthday present, which I'm so grateful for. And that was the fact that they are a tie-dye pair. And I'm sure I said the next pair, if I get another pair, they'll be tie-dye. And when I opened up the box, I was just like, sorry,
absolutely did. You absolutely you absolutely did. And I remember playing back the episode, like, what size did she say again? I was so annoyed that the wrong ones got sent. I didn't
It's
realize that
fine.
I'd ordered a men's pair. And then they also sent the wrong size in the box. So it was just like doubly wrong. But
Yeah.
we got there.
Yes, we did. And they're comfortable and they're like just giving life. Give me. So good. So, yeah, I feel like to answer your original question, I do feel refreshed and I do feel like there has been a reset. This people pleasing thing is it's such a reality for me and I am becoming more aware when it's happening. So that's always self-awareness is always a win.
Yeah.
It's about then finding ways to overcome some of those situations where I find myself really leaning into the people pleasing instead of listening and doing things for myself. Because I still see it as being so selfish. And that's a mindset I need to get out of.
Well, by not helping.
Yeah, like just taking
Okay.
time for myself. I feel like that's selfish when it actually should be selfless. It's all about
Yeah.
loving me more. Because as Samantha from Sex and the City says, I've been in this relationship for a lot longer. So
Absolutely. I
yeah,
feel
it's
like it
one
would
I
be
should be
something.
dedicating time to.
No, for sure. I feel like it will be something that you will fall in love with doing. Like, I really do. I mean, even like on a very small scale, since doing this fast, I've been doing my skin routine every day. And I love it. Like, love it to the point where it's just like, oh, can't do this now because I need to do my face. And it's not like it doesn't take that much amount of time. It doesn't take that long to do. Good God. But it's just like doing something for me that is beneficial. And yeah, again, smaller scale, but love it. Love it. And, we, on the surface, I think we know that to be good for other people, we have to be good to ourselves first. It really is just finding our individual practices of that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So, but that's the tricky thing. Like, what are those practices?
You have
And then
to, I think
keeping
you
them
have
up.
to kind of like, exactly. That is the maintenance of keep going,
The consistency.
One of the things that dropped off for me during that break, because I actually just needed that reset, was the physical activity. And that is always the hardest to get back into. And I begrudge it.
It is
I'm
hard.
like, I don't want to do the treadmill. I don't want to lift the weights. I want to sit on my ass and I want to eat this penguin. But yeah, I went and played tennis the other day and it was 2 hours and I am still hurting from it. But it's that ache that you're in love with when you're like, yes, I did that thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. Come on, girl. Love yourselves.
Honestly,
You have to.
Feels great.
It does.
Absolutely.
So who knows? 6 weeks time down the line, you're going to be next to nothing after your fast. I'm going to be like, where is she?
I just want to feel like healthy. I just want to feel healthy and just not like I'm dragging my body along, which is how I felt for most of last year,
Yeah.
But in terms of getting those routines together, well, I think the biggest hurdle for me is just finding having a crutch isn't great, but food being my emotional crutch is not helpful. That I need to replace with something. So, because it's all great now, like spring I do well, summer I do well, autumn I'm okay, but as soon as winter kicks, say goodbye because I honestly just go missing. It's just the worst time of the year for me.
Well, you can still go missing because it is hibernation season. It's just a case of
the
what
habits,
you're doing whilst you're
all the good habits, all the good routines, they just disappear. And and I just don't want to undo all the good work, because
I do
it feels
think
like I'm having to start again, and that's long.
I think what you said about moving slower, although you specifically referenced it during your fast, but during the winter months, the animals start slowing down, slowing their heart rates and whatnot so that they can make it through. Maybe in terms of like our physical activities and so on, that's what we need to do, is we just need to swap them for things that are a bit more slow.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Because I think in the summer we're like, let's get out, let's do the things, let's be out in nature. And we're like, hoo. At least I am. I'm just like, get me outside with all the pollen.
Oh God, and that's another thing as well. The trees absolutely attack me.
Yeah.
Horrible.
But, they're spreading all of their beauty because it's what they do.
Just can't breathe or see.
I am actually going on my first proper hike for the longest time in a few days, and it is not a small one. So I may be missing. Next time you see me, I might be like, there's nothing left. But I am so excited for it because it's something that I love and I just haven't given myself permission to do it. And now I'm like giving all the permission. Get me out there, get my legs burning, get my like back aching. I want to feel it all. That's how I know I'm ready.
Honestly, as soon as those clocks go, as soon as you see those daffodils come up, it's time.
Yeah.
So I have it's not a weird story, but I've got a story to tell you.
Okay.
So just before I went on holiday, I had a dentist appointment. And everything was fine, had a cleaning done. And then my dentist was like, so what's happening with your like Invisalign and your braces and stuff? And I was like, oh yeah, because I was supposed to start that last year. So he was saying what he'll do is just refer me to his colleague that's at another practice not far from me. So that appointment I had maybe about a week before going on holiday. And he's like, you've had like your extractions done. You still need 2 more, but like we could get your braces done pretty soon if you want to get going. And he's like, the next available appointment is April 15th, I think he said. And I was like, cool, yeah, sure, like set it up. So he was like, you just come in, you have to pay a deposit, which is like £1,000, and then we'll split the rest of the cost over the course of the treatment. So I'm just like, yeah, that's fine. Meanwhile, I'm just like, I don't have £1,000 to give you, but we'll figure something out. Like, it's fine. It's going to happen. No problem. It's fine. So go on holiday now, which was great. And obviously, remember coming back, our flight was delayed like ridiculously. Ridiculous. I think it was like 8 or 9 hours or something. It was so bad. Like
on the way back as well, you're just like, listen, I just want to be home now.
I just want to get home. Do you know what though? To be fair, yes, we were stuck in the airport forever, but it wasn't terrible. I think because the airport was pretty much empty. So this is a point that my sister like highlighted. She was like, if this happens at like Gatwick or Heathrow, where you've got thousands of people coming and going, the energy is a bit different. But because this one, there was hardly anybody there. It wasn't too bad. Like the kids had their electronics. They weren't being a pain. Like it was fine. I mean, I was supposed to get home at 6 a.m. I turned the key at 6 p.m. I was meant to get home. Turns the key at 3 a.m. So big difference, obviously.
Yeah.
But you know, we got there eventually. So all of that happened. As we were getting on the plane, they were like giving us the compensation letters because they knew that it was due. So a couple of days after we got back, I put that compensation claim through. And I got a letter less than a week before my dentist appointment saying that we'd been awarded like £2,000. Yeah. Now, obviously, only half of that is mine because half was like for my sisters and my niece, which basically meant I got £1,000.
What?
So the universe was just like, you set the appointment, so here you go. Go do your thing. Isn't that just like the freakiest thing? I was just like, the scream that I screamed when I read that. When I read that letter, I was just like, obviously, of course. But it's so weird because when the guy was just like, oh, April 15th, I was just like, yeah, sure. Like, knowing that I would figure it out, but really not knowing.
Not knowing.
I was just like, still trying to figure out. It's like, at the very worst, you can just like postpone it. Like, it'll be fine. And then, you know, every couple of days, it's just like, yeah, but girl, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's like, no, it's fine. Just like this conversations within my head. It's fine. Like, don't worry about it. Enjoy your holiday. It's cool. And then literally like less than a week before, this money just like lands in my account. And I was just like, wow, the universe is, she's doing things. She's doing things.
Well,
so,
you
yeah,
have said from day dot of this year, it is the year of yes. So you said yes, and the universe provided for you. Keep just like saying yes.
Isn't that crazy? So that literally tomorrow, I'm going to be in the chair, like getting this top row done. Yeah. I can't do the bottom row yet because I need my extractions done first. Okay. But I want to obviously finish my fast because that means medication and stuff. And I'm not trying to keel over anyone's anesthetic. So But yeah, so next week, folks, I'm probably going to be a bit lispy, but I'll get used to it, and so will you.
Are you excited?
Super excited. See, I'm super excited. I'm saying this now. I know my face is going to be like agony, but yeah, like I've wanted to do it for the longest time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've like started saving like time and time and time and time and time again, and have had to dip in it time and time and time and time and time again. So obviously, when that money came in through, the like parent in me was just like, "Oh yeah, but I need to get there.
Mm,
This need to get there. There." And I was just like, "Do you know what? Their hands are forever in my pockets. Like, shoo, like this is me."
this is for me.
So yeah, so like I'm psyched. I'm just gonna just lean into it, man. So
Do all the
well,
way.
child. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You dive, yeah. I'm guessed. I'm guessed. Oh, I've got to tell you something else as well. So at the beginning of every year, I do like a vision board, right? And the picture that I chose to represent travel this year is like the image of someone sitting in a aeroplane looking out the
Mm.
window, and you can see the Eiffel Tower. Random, like no plans to go there at all, but I just thought, that's cute. I'll stick that on there. How come I'm going to Paris in July? I know. So my mum's birthday is in July, and she like was talking to me randomly a couple of weeks ago. She's like, I really want to go to Paris for my birthday. And then she's giving me the dates and stuff, and I was just like, it's just for the day. I wasn't say just for the day, but it's a day trip basically.
Yeah.
Because she's just got this thing about wanting to be like by the Eiffel Tower in a cute outfit, and then like
Yes.
going to a bistro. And I was just like,
Yes.
I could go. I was like, should I go? Like, Mum, should I come with you? Do you want me to come? She was just like, yeah. The squeal, she squeal. So like,
Oh,
yeah, that's crazy. Honestly, I'm just
letting it in.
handing it over. Yeah, ma'am. And just
Oh my
really
God.
not worrying about it. I know. So good.
Yeah.
I'm
More
super
plans.
excited.
Is there
Honestly.
anything else on that vision board that you want to focus on this year?
This vision board is not like my previous ones. It's not like big, massive things. It pretty much just focuses around me just having a good time. That's what I want this year to be. Because remember, I
Yeah.
just said this 40th year, I kind of want to celebrate throughout the year. So I'm not making
Mm.
like life goals, none of that, just like experiences. That's what's on the board. So, and our trip to see Kate Trinada ticks one of those boxes, which I can't
I
wait.
know it was definitely a fuck it decision, but fuck it.
I know. I
It
know.
was definitely so funny because it was like, saw this, should we do it? Okay, done.
I enabled the hell out of that because I saw that it was like literally the night before. And I was just like, should I forward this to Ames? But then I was like, part of me didn't want you to know that I was up at 3 a.m. because, you know, it always timestamp stuff.
Mm,
It's like, I don't
mm.
want to hear that noise. So I was just like, I'll just tell her about it. And then you sent it to me the next day. I was just like, oh, we're going to this.
Universe providing again. So there you go.
Literally, literally. So that's like the festival thing ticked off. So yeah, man, I just
Oh,
want to, yeah, hit a couple spas
enjoy
this
it.
year as well. Yeah, man. No big plans, just experiences and just living life.
Thing is though is that the experiences are what make life,
Yeah.
those are the memories that you can always call up on over a glass of wine or whatever it is that you're drinking
Mm-hmm.
later on in life. Be like, remember that time? That's the
Yeah.
thing, you're not going to be like, do you remember that time when I hit that goal and we were happy about it for all of 5 minutes before I made another
Right.
one? You're never reminiscing on those things. So
No, it's always the journey to it. Like they say that that's the best part, and it really is. Because like once you get
yeah,
there, you're there. Like it's done.
yeah, I know.
Yeah. But now
and
that we're
and
resting, maybe now we'll be able to appreciate said goals a bit more.
yeah,
I say
I
we.
don't even know. I think that's the thing. I don't even know if I want to set any goals anymore. Like, I'm
Mm,
pretty happy with where I am. I think the goals, if anything, that I'm going to set will be like going places or perhaps another, like, I don't know, buying a house somewhere that I've always wanted to live. But that's like way down the
yeah.
line because, yo, I've got this one and I'm paying a lot for it. So I'm going to live here for a
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah.
So it's all of those kind of things. But I just am happy where I am. And
Yeah.
like obviously day-to-day stuff will get annoying, but that's never going to change regardless of what goals I have. So yeah,
Exactly.
that's the headspace that I'm in at the moment. And I think it has taken me 3 years to get to this place. And I have
Mm,
been fighting it, much like the people pleasing stuff of, oh, but I'm expected, fuck expectations. Like, this is my life. I'm going to live my life how I want to live it. And
yeah. Because
that is one
everybody else
thing.
is,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
That might change. I might be like, actually, do you know what? I'm going to start up this big business, or I'm going to be doing this, or I'm going to set my sights on that. That might happen in the future. But for right now, just
Yeah.
enjoying it.
Yeah, man. Ease. That's why, I know you were talking about taking a step back from like Gongbei. And I literally did the same thing with Shrewd. I was just like, obviously, doing the pod, it takes time and I
Mm,
absolutely enjoy it. But I always had this niggling thing at the side, like, yeah, but Shrewd, what you doing with it? What you doing with it? And I just like take it off the cooker. Like, it's just not now. It's just not now. That whole thing is just about positive messaging and just like uplifting people, but there's so many ways that can be done. So
we're doing it now. Because
there we
generally,
go.
this is about joy. We're enjoying it. We're also,
Yeah.
I definitely feel this is a bit of therapy for me sometimes because, the number of times when we're
Every
talking about
time. There's one
the deep dives,
episode
it's just
where
like, oh,
yeah.
where did that come from? Let me just.
There's one episode where you just like out and out coached me. I was just like, I actually felt bad. Like I feel like, did she even get anything out of this? I mean, I feel good, but how does she feel? And there's times like, especially for me, like if I don't plan as well as I'd like to plan, I just find like the
Mm,
truth comes out. I'm just like, wow, that's how I really feel about this. That's crazy. So yeah, and we do it like every week. So it's
yeah.
definitely a therapy thing for sure.
So I just really want to pick up on something because you talking about that coaching session, right? A big part of that session was about not feeling bad about stopping something. And when you mentioned about just pressing pause on Shrewd, I was just like, yes. I don't feel bad about it. It's right for
Yeah,
you.
absolutely. It's absolutely, you just think, you poured so much into it and it just feels like
Yeah.
it can feel like a waste, but obviously we know nothing is a waste. Like there are lessons that we might not grasp it in that moment. It might feel like it's been just thrown, but it's not.
Mm,
And again, who's to say that we don't come back to it later? Sometimes it just
exactly.
needs that rest so it can just breathe a bit and then we do it again, but with a different perspective or just like
Yeah.
we mix the whole thing. So it's
Or the
never a
idea that
waste.
you started out with manifests its way into something completely different. And it's just like,
Yeah.
I think that is the thing of kind of just being like, yes, I did put a lot of thought and effort and love into that.
Yeah.
It's just not working the way I want it to. So I'm happy
Yeah.
to just park it, right?
Yeah.
I'm not binning it. I'm not being like, fuck it all. Rah. I'm just
Yeah.
like, I'm going to put it over there for a sec.
Yeah.
Um, and maybe pick it up later down the line. But yeah, I mean, it was a
Just not.
big
Yeah.
decision for Gongbei, but it's the right decision for me right now.
For now. Do you know what? Also, the same thing can be said for friendships and relationships, because a lot of the time we kind of get sort of roped in by the longevity of things, like how many years we've known this person, or the memories that we have. And we feel like because of all of that time spent, we have to keep this thing going. But it's
Mm,
perfectly fine for us to get to a point where it's like, well, this is where the journey ends and
yeah.
it's cool, you know? So,
Yes. And that, do you know what? It's so interesting, isn't it? Because like through life, we learn so many things. And that is something that no one is ever taught. Like, how do you kind of have access to information about how to end a relationship, a romantic relationship in a healthy way. But there's not as much access to how do you end a friendship in a healthy way.
yeah,
Um, I think typically most friendships will kind of peter out because the desire to stay in contact kind of just doesn't really happen. And life just happens.
yeah,
Like people get busy and diaries don't match up. And it's like, oh, now, but your priorities are different to my priorities. That is a normal thing that happens. But there's always
yeah,
an element of guilt. For me, an
yeah,
element of guilt where I'm like, could I have made more effort? Do I need to make more effort? But I don't feel like I can make more effort because when I make effort, it's so exhausting for me. And it's not about this person, it's about me. But
yeah,
how do I communicate that? Do you know what I mean? I'm just like, so you end up ghosting each other
yeah,
and
basically.
secretly feeling bad. But
If the
yeah,
paths are supposed to cross again, they will. I'm gonna say that. They will.
yeah.
And if
Do you
not,
know,
we had fun.
whilst it lasted, whilst it lasted, it was great. I know. I've been thinking about past relationships recently, romantic ones and not in a romantic sense, just the lessons that I've learned from them and
Yeah.
how different I am in my current relationship to how I was in previous ones. Age comes into it massively because and experience, obviously that first one was just an absolute shit show because you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know
First
what
ones
the
always are.
expectations are. Soz, by the way. And then the next one and the next one, you're just slowly learning. If you're open to the lessons, you're slowly learning about those things. I think the same can be said for friendships as well. Just
Hmm.
taking the wins. The only thing is family. I mean,
Yeah.
tough.
Uh, oh, do we have enough time?
No.
It's tough. That's all that can be said. It's tough. But
Yeah.
again, I do believe that that's another one of those things that we get caught up with the titles of people: mother, brother, sister, uncle, aunt. Just because like we're linked by blood, that doesn't mean you're automatically deserving of like my time and my respect if you're not giving me the same. Like, I'm not just gonna sit
Mm,
here and take abuse from you because we're related. Like, you are still a person underneath the title. And if you're not good to me, I don't have to keep you around. But one of those things that's easier said than done, I'm sure.
hmm
You
Yeah.
know?
And that did sound like it came very easy.
Always does.
Yeah.
Always does. But yeah.
Ugh, I feel full now. You
Yeah.
asked me a little while ago how I was feeling, and I was like, I don't know. Because of things that we're talking about, even if I haven't said anything, it's still going on in here and in here, and that
Yeah.
is draining.
It is.
Um, but I am already looking forward to our next catch up, which is not going to be recorded, but it's soon.
You won't have to wait 6 weeks.
Oh man. I wonder if it's even been felt. I know it has by one person because we've already heard about it. But I
Yeah,
wonder if
I've
it's been felt.
a couple of people have been like, "So, what's going on? Where are you?"
So
I had a meeting with a colleague the other day who I hardly speak to anymore. Obviously, because we're not in the office and we don't work closely together anymore. So like he gets on the line and I'm just like, so it's been ages. How you been? He's like, oh man, it's all frolics, it's good. And I was just like, what? It's like, I kind of forget that it's out there. And because people aren't really saying anything, because I'm not saying
Yeah.
anything, you just don't know who's seeing it. But that kind of threw me off. That was funny though.
Oh.
But always good feedback, which is nice,
Yes, it is. It definitely makes you
So
feel like you're doing something good and
yeah,
you're doing it
definitely.
well as well. So,
Yeah.
because it just
Yeah.
comes out for me, I'm like, whatever is coming out, I don't know. Until I watch this back, anything could have just
It's always
vomited.
great. It's always great. I'm the one that hurdles over words.
Not this episode,
But
love.
you
It
know
has
what?
been
You know what I
magnificent.
mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
You're a proper Monique whisperer.
Monique Charmer. She's just there.
Honestly, this was fun. So glad to see you again in this format. It's
And
been lush.
you. Yeah, it
Yeah.
has been a minute. So I guess at this point, we're getting back into the flow of things, right? We're wrapping this right up. Next episode will be back to normal format. So you will see a bit of a game. I don't mind because I had one prepared and then we didn't. So I'm ready to go for the next. Yeah, I'm ready to go for the next one. And I think it's almost going to be a bit ironic, actually, in terms of what I have planned. Yeah.
Intriguing.
So yeah, prepare yourself. So back to structure next time. And gotta say what I gotta say, which is do all of the things. If you don't remember what those things are, it's following us on the socials. It's hitting that subscribe button.
It's free.
So you're getting this.
Cozy Livy.
No energy. And we're talking about it now. So do it now. Ding, 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 ding. It means you get a little notification when another episode drops. And it's not going to be 6 weeks until the next episode. You'll be happy to hear. That little break is over. But if another one crops up, it's because we're looking out for ourselves. And that's what you should be doing too. So Follow on the socials, interact with us. I'm sure there'll be some Am I the Arseholes or some random internet find that will crop up if we reintroduce the media circus. Who knows? It will be a surprise. But if you do find something funny, feel free to share it with us. Monique, any lasting words you want to give us?
No, just welcome back, folks. Welcome back.
To the madhouse.
Take care of yourselves. Absolutely. Take care of yourselves.
Loving life. And until next time, it's been me, it's been her, it's All Frolics.
Bye.
Peace.
Oh, yeah. Peace.